Hello everyone, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I hope all of you are doing good. This is a weekly market update live stream, and if you are new to my YouTube channel, please make sure to subscribe to it. Please make sure to press the like button, and if you're not following me over Twitter, 𝗟𝘍𝗲𝗚𝗏, this is my Twitter handle. I occasionally post calls, market updates over my Twitter account as well. So make sure that you are following me on Twitter, 𝗟𝘍𝗲𝗚, this is the Twitter handle. And finally, if you would like to receive more organized updates and calls, then you can always join the Discord server. The link you can find in the description of this video. In fact, we have a very good offer going on for the Discord server, for the premium Discord server, meaning that all you have to do is simply just, uh, like and retweet the pinned tweet, and then you just have to register with one of our partner exchanges. One is BLOFIN, the other one is BITUNIX. These two exchanges we are partnered with. These two exchanges we are constantly promoting. These two exchanges I'm actively trading on. These two exchanges that I personally trust with my funds. So yeah, all of these links you can find in the description of this video. Make sure to register on these exchanges. And all you have to do is just deposit a very small amount, like $100 or so, and we would give you free access to the Discord server. Okay, you just have to share with us your UID. Just join the Discord server, open up a support ticket, and we would give you access to the Discord server. Uh, we have different analysts sharing calls, spot calls, futures calls, and everything. We have like a variety of different analysts. So it's a good mix of different analysts sharing various positions all the time, scanning the markets all the time, looking at the markets all the time. You can see that I've just recently posted a few testimonials that we had in the Discord server. So yeah, make sure that you're keeping an eye on that as well. The reason why I am saying this at the very start of the live stream is because the market is looking really good. The past 2 weeks have been absolutely amazing. In the Discord server as well, we had people posting wins. We had people being happy about it. So yeah, almost 2-3 calls are being actively posted by me. Whenever the market conditions are good, I usually post 2 to 3 calls in the Discord server. So yeah, um, on the Twitter account, I just post, sometimes the free calls. For example, this Twitter call that I posted on my Twitter account, it was a spot call, and then we, had a leverage call as well. So, I do post calls over my Twitter account as well, but most of the times these calls, they're just, like, 1 in 10 or something like that. Okay, so let's start the live stream. If you have any questions, please make sure to drop in the chat box. If you have any chat requests, if you have any queries, please make sure to drop in the chat box. First of all, I would like to start the stream, looking at the chart of Ethereum, right? So ETH right now is trading at 3420. We just took first TP of our position on Ethereum in spot, and, for the leverage position also. So uh, we have two positions open right now. One is the leverage position. The second one is a spot position on Ethereum. The entry for the spot position is at 3000. The entry for the leverage position is at 3043. We just took first TP of our position. Now this is a very crucial point because I know that many of you are already in this position. Many of you have already bought Ethereum in spot, because I have been constantly talking about ETH in my Discord server. I have been constantly shilling ETH on my Twitter account as well. I have been constantly saying that most likely this is going to be the easiest possible trade of this year. And I actually believe in this statement. Okay, you have seen how ETH has moved, retesting this support level during the past, 72 hours or so, and you would agree with me in the next few days that this was the easiest possible trade. This was the easiest 30 to 40% return you could have got, trading in this market. Okay, because the setup was looking extremely good. We already have got almost a 14 to 15% move, and I'm going to exit most of my position at 4000, because 4000 is a major resistance level. But in this live stream, we are going to talk about ETH in detail. Like what exactly is the deal with 4000? What exactly is so special about 4000? What exactly is so special about ETH? In this situation, why do I believe that, we could be going all the way up to 7000, 8000, 10,000? These are, the minimum targets for this bull market, for the Ethereum chart. So I would be exploring all of these possible options. Please make sure that, if you're new to the channel, please make sure to subscribe to it. Please make sure to like the live stream and, watch this live stream till the end, because this is going to be a very interesting one. We are going to, focus we are going to have a focus mostly on the chart of Ethereum, because I suppose that this trade, it was shared in the Discord server, it was shared on my Twitter account as well, it was shared in my free Telegram channel as well. So I'm supposing that most of you are already in this trade, and this is going to be once in a lifetime sort of opportunity. Okay, I'm saying this because this is going to be the easiest 30-40% return. We already have received 15% return on this trade, and there is like, this $4,000 resistance level, and I'm hoping that, price would easily go all the way up to 4,000 resistance. So first of all, what exactly is going with the chart? The market structure on the daily time frame chart, it's definitely bullish. Okay, you can see that price was constantly making these lower lows and lower highs, and then finally we had a break above this previous high. That's when we had the change of character on the ETH chart. Okay, this was a change of character, market structure shift. Then finally we made this massive candle towards upside. We just had the rejection at this resistance area. The rule that I'm always talking about, that I'm always mentioning, that the first retest is always your single best opportunity to take a long or a short trade. Now you have to remember this statement throughout the stream, because I would be talking about this statement over and over again. At two occasions, this rule actually gave you two very good entries, right? And before I move on to that part, let me just tell you very quick that I have been holding Ethereum for the past 1 year or so. My initial entry for ETH almost a year ago was at 3,000. Okay, price went all the way up to 4,100. I did not sell my Ethereum back, I did not exit my position, although it was in decent profits, because whenever I invest in spot, my strategy is very simple. Okay, you need not to invest in spot if you do not understand the project, or if you do not believe in the project. It's very important. Only invest in spot if you actually understand the project thoroughly, or if you believe in the project. So in this situation, price went up to 4,100. My expectation was that it would go up to at least 4,800, and that is where I would look to sell my Ethereum, right? But obviously, the situation, it was altogether different. Price went from 3,000 up to 4,100, then went all the way down to 1,400. Now, one mistake that I did, I wouldn't really call it a mistake, but a bit of a laziness at my end, that price went all the way down to 1,400, and I did not pay attention to it, because maybe deep down I knew that it was constantly making these lower lows and lower highs, and I was simply just waiting for structure shift. But I did not buy Ethereum, I did not DCA into my bag at 2,800 support, or maybe at 2,200 support, or at 1,800 support, or at 1,400 level. I did not buy Ethereum back again. Okay, but I was constantly holding it. I was not worried about it. I was absolutely confident about it. I have been absolutely confident about Ethereum. No matter how much we shit post about Ethereum, deep down we all know that, okay, this is actually the second largest cryptocurrency, which means that it is definitely going to at some point in time outperform Bitcoin. This is how exactly these market cycles work. First Bitcoin, then Ethereum, and some other large cryptocurrencies, and then capital would start flowing into these mid market cap and low market cap coins. But anyways, I did not buy Ethereum at 1,400, 1,500. I'll be honest with you. Okay, so when this Iran US thing was happening, price went down to retest this level, and 2,197. I remember exactly 2,197. Okay, this is the point, 2,197, where I bought Ethereum back again. This was my first DCA into Ethereum in the past 1 year or so. Okay, and then price, and remember that this was the first retest of the support, and the first retest always a good opportunity to take a long or a short position. In this case, this was the first retest and a very good opportunity, right? Same was the case here. Okay, and then we had a break above this level, and I have been constantly pointing out this thing, that all you need to do is buy Ethereum once we have 1 day candle close above this resistance level. Okay, let's have 3 or 4 examples of this. I mean, and if you look at the historical data also, this was your long trigger. Okay, as soon as you had the daily candle close, you can see that this daily candle close at 2,946, we entered at 3,000. Okay, then you, in this situation also, you can see that one daily candle close, all you need is one daily candle close above this resistance level. Same is the case here, one daily candle close above this resistance level, and then price simply just went all the way up to 4,000. Now, another very important question that I would like to respond to, for the past 24 hours or so, I have been getting the questions, And at that time, price had not tapped this 3400 level, okay, because the situation has changed altogether. We are right now at a resistance level. We have to wait for price to reclaim this resistance level, and that this is exactly why I'm asking you to please watch this live stream till the end, because things have changed. First of all, almost 24 hours ago, when price was trading around 3200, 3300, a lot many of you were asking me that can we still get into Ethereum. The answer was an obvious no, okay, because I constantly shelled Ethereum at 3000 levels, at 2900 levels, saying that this is once in a lifetime opportunity and this is an easiest possible trade, okay, because Ethereum always as soon as it closes a daily candle above this level, it always at least goes back up to 4000 level, okay. There are some corrections along the way, okay, you cannot rule out that thing. There are small corrections along the way, but ultimately it goes at least up to 4000 level, okay. And the second point is that as soon as we start breaking above 3000 level, we do not go back to 3000 before tapping 3400, without tapping 3450, okay. In this case, we tapped 3450, we had a move down to 3200, and then we went all the way up to 4000. In this case, we tapped 3450, then we went down to 3050, then we went up to 3950 or 4000 level. So in this case also, you can see that as soon as we had a break above 3050 level, price simply just went all the way up to 3450. Now in this situation, the momentum is really strong. I don't really know if price would go back down to 3050 or not, but I'm least concerned about it, okay. I did mention this in my channel that we are taking first TP of our spot position, but to tell you the truth, I have not taken a single dollar off my position on Ethereum, not on leverage, not on spot, because I'm simply just going to wait for price to go all the way up to 3950, 3970. That is where I'm going to exit at least 80 to 90% of my bag, and I'm not really worried about it, okay, because I know that the momentum is strong, the momentum is on our side, the momentum is really bullish. So even if we go back down, I'm simply just going to buy it again. The question right now is that do we get a 4-hour candle close, or do we get a daily candle close above 3450 level or not? Because in this case, you can see that we did not have a daily candle close above 3450. We went down to at least 3200. In this case, we did not have a candle close above 3450. We went down to 3000. In this case, we do not have a daily candle close above 3450. So if you are not in Ethereum, you still have a decent chance. You just have to wait. Now you have two possible triggers. If we fail to close a daily candle above 3450, then price would easily go back down to, there is going to be a chance that price would go back down to at least 3050 or 3100 or 3200, all right. Or if we simply just close a daily candle above 3450, because we still have 10 hours 41 minutes for this daily candle to close. As soon as we close a daily candle above 3450, that is where I'm going to buy Ethereum once again. That is where I'm going to invest into Ethereum once again. That is where right now my average entry, because remember that I have been constantly buying at 3100, at 3200, at 3300, at 3400. My last buy was 3487. I've been constantly buying Ethereum with all the capital that I have, okay? With all the stable coins that I have, I've been constantly putting into Ethereum. So right now, the question is, do we reclaim this level or not? If we reclaim, if we have at least 12-hour candle close or maybe an 8-hour candle close above 3450, that is where I'm going to invest back into Ethereum. That is why I'm going to buy Ethereum once again, and we can have a ride all the way up to at least 3950, 3970, because my position is really big right now, because I have been very much exposed to this position right now. So that is why I'm not going to wait for 4800, 4100, 4200. I'm simply just going to exit most of my position around 3450, 3430. Again, a question in the chat box: will Ethereum do a pullback? Nobody knows, right? Nobody has the answer to this question. It really depends on the candle closes. So far, I've been constantly pointing out this is the reason we took first TP of our position. This is the reason I mentioned that you need to take first TP of your position at 3450, because 3450 is a resistance right now, okay? It really depends on the next 4-hour candle closes. It really depends on the daily candle closes, because Ethereum right now is extremely strong, okay? The total DeFi index has been breaking above the resistance level. I am almost 70% sure that it may not go back down to 3000 levels back again, okay? I'm 70% sure, but there is still a 30% chance that we may have a huge wick down to 3000 levels. So far, the momentum is really strong. But in the previous cases also, you can see that it took Ethereum almost like 3 days to go back up to 3400 level. But in this situation, it just took us 1 or 2 candles, like 1 or 2 days to go all the way up to 3400 level. So in this situation, the momentum is quite strong. If you compare the two previous examples, it took like 4 or 5 days. In this situation, it took like around 3 or 4 days. In this situation, it just took 2 days for price to go up to this 3450 level. But the crucial point is that if we get a candle close above this level, 3450, that is when, even if you are not in Ethereum, even if you do not have any position open, that is where you can get back into Ethereum, right? Or even if you are in a position, you can simply just start buying more Ethereum right now. Like, if you have taken first TP of your position, if you have just closed 25% of your position, you can simply just add that 25% back into your position, because as soon as we have a reclaim of 3450, the only next resistance level is simply just 3950, okay, 4000 level. But that is a crucial level that, this is the level that we will be talking about later on. But Ethereum actually gave you very good opportunities. This was a nice opportunity. I mean, if you did not buy at 1400, if you did not buy at 1800, 1600, 1700, it's fine, okay, because at that time the market structure was not bullish, okay. But we made this, we had a break above the trend line, we had a change of character, we had this smiling inverse head and shoulder chart pattern, we had a break above the neckline, we retested this neckline. This was not only a retest of neckline, but at the same time this was also a retest of the 1-day horizontal support, the first retest. And remember this thing, Ethereum is unlike other altcoin charts. It actually gives respect to these SR levels, okay. I have drawn three levels on the Ethereum chart, and you can see this for yourself. Every single level it gives respect to, okay. It breaks above the resistance level, flips it into support, first retest, second, third, fourth retest, fifth retest, breaks below the level, first, second, third retest, breaks above the level, first retest, breaks below the level, first retest, breaks below the level, first retest, breaks above the level, first retest, breaks above the level. This was first retest, and this is exactly where we entered into our position, because a lot many of you were sorry, a lot many of you were asking this question, that if you are so confident about Ethereum, why not simply just get into a leverage long position? This is exactly what we did. We got into a leverage long position. And by the way, for your information, we took first TP on our position, but we have placed the limits back again. Okay, at that time it was a market order, but now we have limits placed for Ethereum at 3043. The DCA is going to be around 2850, 2940, and stop loss is going to be 2740. We have once again placed the limit for Ethereum on the chart, which means even if it goes back down, we are once again going to enter into this leverage position. But for your information, once again, we have not seen any candle close above this 3450 level, any convincing candle close above this level. So far, there is a selling pressure happening around 3450, which means that it is going to act as a resistance. But remember that it's not like after 34 rejection, price would finally just go back down to 2900. It may just be a small rejection, like maybe down to 3285, maybe something like that, and then price would simply just reclaim this level. And I'm not ready to take that risk. I have been holding this position for the past 1 year or so, so I'm definitely not going to sell it at 3417 or anywhere around these levels. I would simply just continue to hold this position and wait to sell it at 4000. Now 4000 is a totally different story. 4000, 4100, that is a totally different story. I believe that this time we are going to have a break above 4000, okay, because there already have been like too many rejections. We are slowly approaching towards the end of this bull market, right? Bitcoin already has made a new all-time high at 125,000. It can go up to like 200,000, 150,000. But the point is that a lot many things have happened with Bitcoin, but so far nothing really has happened with altcoins. Nothing really has happened with Ethereum itself, which means that now it's time for Ethereum to shine. We just cannot afford another move up to 48, 4100, then another move down to 900. I mean, that is going to be no longer a bull market, okay? Because what exactly in terms of altcoins, in terms of Bitcoin, yes, the story is a bit different, but in terms of altcoins, nothing really has happened. Okay, in the past few days, we have seen most altcoins go up almost 30%, 40%, 50%. But remember that almost all of them are down 90% as well. Okay, a lot many of you do not understand the simple maths that if something goes from $100 down to $10, it dropped 90% in value. But if it goes from $10 to $20, it increased 100% in value. Okay, so this is what's happening with altcoins. They dropped from $100 down to $10. They already are down 90% from their all-time highs. So even if they go from $10 to $20, even if it's a 100% increase in their price, they're still 90% down in value. I mean, this is simple maths, right? I hope all of you already understand that. So this is what's happening with altcoins. They are down 90%, 80% from their all-time highs. So even if they do 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x, nothing really would matter because they are simply just doing 2x, 3x, 5x from their current values. Okay, it's very simple. So in the case of Ethereum 4000, that's a very crucial resistance. We already have seen 1, 2, 3, 4 rejections around here on daily time frame chart. These are not ordinary rejections. These rejections, the first one took us down to 2800, the second one took us down to 2200, the third one took us down to 1400. I don't know what the fourth one is going to bring for us, but I really hope that the fourth one actually turns out to be an actual break above 4000. But the real story would begin. Okay, the actual story is going to begin once we reclaim this 4000 level. Okay, because remember that Ethereum, just like I showed you a few moments ago, Ethereum always gives respect to these horizontal SR levels. Okay, and can you imagine Ethereum breaking above this 4000 level? Can you imagine Ethereum actually reclaiming this 4000 level and then acting or retesting this as a support? And by the way, this was a very good opportunity for you. This is what I'm trying to make you understand. On the 4-hour time frame chart, Ethereum had a break above, perfectly retested this level, and then went all the way up to 3450. So now we are just talking about, instead of going with these shit coins, instead of just going with these fat coin and stuff, why not simply just go into Ethereum? Because Ethereum is giving you these prime opportunities. I understand that you did not buy at 1400, 1800, 2100, but this was a very good trigger. Okay, this was a first retest, this was a second retest, good trigger. Okay, and the third one, mind you, once we break above 4000, I'm going to exit 80% of my position at 4000. But once we have one daily candle close, remember what I have been constantly saying for the past 2-3 weeks, just one daily candle close above this level and you have to get into Ethereum, right? Same was the case here, same was the case here, and same is going to be the case here. This is the level that we are talking about. Okay, just have a horizontal line placed around here, 4115, just one daily candle close above 4115. Okay, same is the case here, just one daily candle close above 3450, and that is going to be a long trigger. That is going to be another trigger to get into ETH, because 3450 is a crucial level. Same is the case here, just one daily candle close above 4115 level, and that is going to be a trigger to absolutely sell everything and get into Ethereum, because that is when the real party is going to begin. The reason why I'm saying this is because I just wanted to show you a very beautiful chart, which is the monthly time frame chart for Ethereum. Okay, now please pay attention to whatever I'm about to say, because this is going to be a very, very important live stream, right? This is going to be very important, the next few minutes that I'm going to explain to you why exactly I believe Ethereum is going to go up to at least 7,000, 8,000 in this cycle. Okay, we would try our best to project where exactly the price would be headed towards. First of all, very obvious, on the monthly time frame chart we have this descending trend line. If you are someone who has been following my updates, if you are someone who has been watching all of my updates, live streams, market updates and stuff, you would know that I always regard these trend lines very highly. I always talk about these trend lines, saying that if we have a descending trend line, ultimately sooner or later price is going to have a break above. And I remember that the last week when we did the live stream, when price on the Bitcoin chart was trading, I guess around 108,000, 109,000, we were talking about how there are two options. Okay, and at that time, if you would go and watch that live stream, I clearly mentioned two very important points. The first one was that if price goes down to 106.5k, that is a very good long trigger. Okay, and as per risk to reward ratio, that is where I would like to enter. But if I could do that, okay, I would like to enter into Bitcoin right now at 108,000, 109,000. The reason is because we are not doing anything. We simply just had a break above the trend line. We are consolidating above the trend line, and now we are going to see a continuation move all the way up to at least 125,000 as per the Fib levels, right? I'll be talking about that part later on in detail, but let's just talk about Ethereum for the time being. Okay, so Ethereum chart, we have a descending trend line. If you are someone who has been watching these live streams for a long time, you would know that if we have a descending trend line on the chart, sooner or later price would give you an impulsive break towards upside. If you have an ascending trend line on the chart, sooner or later price is going to give you impulsive break towards downside. The most recent, the most beautiful examples, the most prominent examples, the most influential examples that we have seen during the past 1 week or so, we had a descending trend line on the Bitcoin chart, which ultimately gave you a breakout from 109,000 all the way up to 123,000. And at the same time, we had an ascending trend line. Okay, this is the ascending trend line that I'm talking about. We had an ascending trend line on the USDT dominance chart, which ultimately sent price from 4.74 all the way down to 4.23. And remember that I did mention about this trend line also on the USDT dominance chart. It sooner or later price has to break below this live stream. But anyways, talking about Ethereum, we have this descending trend line, which means that sooner or later we are about to have a break above this trend line, which is going to be a very crucial break. Now, mind you, we are not talking about the 4-hour time frame. We are not talking about 1 hour. We are not talking about 30 minutes. We're not talking about daily time frame. We are not talking about weekly time frame. We're talking about the monthly time frame chart. All right, the monthly time frame chart. Remember that the higher the time frame, more accurate these things are. The lower the time frame, the less accurate these things are. Higher the time frame you go, for example, if you are looking at a 5-minute trendline break on the Bitcoin chart, it may give you a breakout from 109,000 maybe up to 110,000. Okay, maximum if you're looking at 30 minutes or 1 hour chart. But if you're looking at a trend line on the daily time frame chart of Bitcoin, it may give you a breakout from 109,000 all the way up to 123,000. And same is the case here. We are talking about a descending trend line on the Ethereum chart, but that too on the monthly time frame. So you can imagine that, if we have a breakout above this trend line, it's going to be a massive thing. But the story is, and this, the part where this story actually gets interesting is that we have, first of all, we have a very big resistance on the Ethereum chart around the 4,000 level. All right. And we have a descending trend line drawn something like this. This is your descending trend line. Now, all of us would agree over this fact that no major profit taking event has happened on Ethereum, right? If you look at the on-chain data, if you just talk to people, almost everyone who bought Ethereum back in 2021 has simply just been holding on to their bags. Okay, all of us would agree over this thing. All of us already know that. Even, I just gave you my personal example that I bought Ethereum almost a year ago around 3,000 levels, and I have been simply just holding on to that position. It's been almost like 1 year or so because I believe in the project. If you look at the on-chain data, people have been holding on to their positions since 2021. If you look at the on-chain data, you would realize that the major profit-taking event on Ethereum happened only back in November 2021, which means that all these big whales who bought Ethereum back in 2020 or 19 or 18, they have been constantly holding on to their positions. Okay, the only major profit-taking event was when Ethereum made that all-time high around November 2021 and 22, 23. Anyone who bought at 800, anyone who bought at 1200, 1400, 1600, 2000, 2500, 3000, 3500, they have not sold any bit of their positions, which means that the major profit-taking event has not happened on Ethereum. Which takes us to a very important conclusion that just like Bitcoin, Ethereum has to ultimately create a new all-time high. Okay, the last all-time high for Ethereum is around 4,800, right? 4767, 4,800, which means that Ethereum ultimately has to create an all-time high. Okay, or it has to go above like the 4,000 level. All of us would agree over this thing. But the important point is that if Ethereum breaks above the all-time high, okay, and by the way, this is your all-time high. If Ethereum actually creates an all-time high, or even if it just goes up to 4,800 level, 4,700 level, is this going to look like a huge wick? Do you imagine that Ethereum forming an all-time high on the daily time frame chart is going to look something like this? Like, do you actually imagine that on the monthly time frame chart? Because I do not agree with this thing. I do not think that Ethereum, let's suppose, goes on to, Ethereum would simply just create a new all-time high, and that all-time high would ultimately result in Ethereum going just in a span of 1 month from, let's suppose, 5,500 all the way down to 3,500. I mean, this is not. Yes, it is, realistically speaking, it's possible, but a very unlikely sort of a thing that Ethereum would go up to 5,500 and then it would ultimately make a huge candle all the way down to 3,500, right? Which means that, the point that I'm trying to make here is that if we if we by any chance break above this, or if by any chance we go on to create a new all-time high, this monthly candle ultimately is going to close above this trend line. The point that I'm trying to make is an altogether different point. I hope all of you actually understand this thing. The point that I'm trying to make is that if Ethereum breaks above this trend line, which is literally around 3600, 3700, it would take some time for Ethereum to go up to 4800 or to create a new all-time high, which means that sooner or later one monthly candle close is going to happen above this trend line. Okay, in the previous examples, you can see that the first rejection, second rejection, third rejection, but mind you, we are talking about the monthly time frame chart. I do not imagine that Ethereum would create a wick something like this, maybe up to 4000 level, and then it would ultimately go back down to maybe 800, 700. There is a 70 to 80% chance that this time Ethereum, if it goes on to create a new all-time high, it would automatically have a monthly candle close above this trend line. Okay, because in the previous situation, the even the formation of trend line was not confirmed, because we need 3 rejections at a trend line in order to confirm its authenticity. We need 3 point of contacts. Same is the case with support resistance level. Same is the case with trend lines. You would need 3 point of contact. So first point of contact, the second one, the third one, authenticity of trend line has been confirmed. So now, the only possible thing, the only possible outcome here is that Ethereum would break above this trend line. And once it breaks above, I don't think that it would immediately go back under this trend line, because once we break above 4000 level, okay, this trend line would start ending at 4000. Once we break above 4000, that is going to be a very crucial level, and this would act as support for quite some time, which means that if Ethereum by any chance goes up to 4000 level at least, it would automatically have a monthly candle close above this trend line. And we know that once we have a candle close above the trend line, that is when the breakout is confirmed. And can you imagine that a monthly time frame trend line breakout on the chart for Ethereum? Okay, we are not even talking about daily, we are not even talking about weekly, we are talking about the monthly time frame chart. It would easily take price all the way up to at least 7 to 8,000, because people would be getting mad about it. I mean, 4,000 level in itself, the reclaim of that level in terms of SR levels is going to be a crucial point. And secondly, this trend line breakout on the monthly time frame chart, is going to be a very crucial point. Now, if we do not believe in all of this, like if we say that, okay, let's not talk about trend lines, let's talk about something else. So let's just simply draw the fib levels, because we know that we're talking about the monthly time frame chart. These are very, very crucial fib levels. The higher the time frame you go, more accurate these things would become. The lower the time frame you go, less accurate these things become. So in this situation, it's a very crucial fractal that we are looking at. This is the all-time high for Ethereum. This was the low during the bear market, around 800, around 900 level, which means that if we simply just use this fractal to make any prediction, and by the way, these fractals are very important. If we use these fractals to make any prediction, then the next target easily for Ethereum is going to be 127% fib level. Okay, that is where you would see some sort of very small rejection, a very brief sort of a rejection. Okay, very, very, very small rejection, and then ultimately the new all-time high for Ethereum is going to be somewhere around 161 and 178 fib level, which is going to be 7,000 to 8,000. And this is just a very not so optimistic sort of a target. I mean, the optimistic targets are going to be 261 is going to be around 11,000 to 12,000, 278.6. And not so optimistic targets in this situation are going to be 161, 178.6. At least if you are holding Ethereum for a long time, if you're holding Ethereum for a long period, then at least wait for the reclaim of 4,000 level, or even if you decide to buy Ethereum at the reclaim of 4,000 level. Okay, if you decide to buy, because we are actually going to do that, we would be buying Ethereum at the reclaim of this 4,000 level. So once the reclaim of this 4,000 level happens, our minimum targets for ETH are going to be 6,000 and then finally 7 to 8,000, because this is where I believe price is eventually headed towards. Okay, I hope all of you understand what I'm talking about, right? 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏𝗏 is saying, any setup today? Yes, I will be sharing a setup as soon as the live stream ends, but that is going to be only for people who are already in the Discord server. We have one position open, which by the way is on 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 also. Okay, this is the position that we have open. This one is still at the entry point, is looking very good on the daily time frame chart. We have a break above the trend line, then we have a break above the resistance level as well. So we already have reclaimed this level. We have some sort of rejection around here. You can see that it is mainly because of the 1 day 12 period, sorry, 1 day quarterly VWAP. This is the 1 day quarterly VWAP. You can see that it's acting as a strong resistance level for now. But once we reclaim this level, there are going to be fireworks on 𝗬𝗍𝗶, right? So you just have to wait a little bit, and you have to wait for the reclaim of this level. And this is going to be a very good opportunity for you to get into 𝗬𝗍𝗶. This is going to be a very good position. But yeah, right now, this is the entry for 𝗬𝗍𝗶 1.660. If you wish to take this position, you can do that. 1.660, this is the entry point, and the DCA is going to be somewhere around 1.547. And the stop loss is 1.449. All right. For the next positions that I would be sharing in my channel, those positions are only going to be people who are already in the Discord server. I'm not going to share this, free on Twitter or anywhere else. I mean, I just don't share, altcoin positions or the rest of positions, in the free channels. I simply just post it in the Discord server. I thought you put final TP for futures ETH at 5,000. Yes, that is going to be our final TP for the futures position that we have. The second target is going to be 4,000 or 39.75. The third one is going to be 4,400. And the final one is going to be at 5,000 levels. All right. So I just usually have, 4 or 5 targets for the positions that I open, right? So I would be taking a few questions. I understand that, people have been always asking me that, during these live streams, you should be focusing more on questions instead of just, going through the updates and everything. But just a quick, overview of the Bitcoin chart. And in order to take a look at the Bitcoin chart, we need to take a look at the USDT dominance chart. USDT dominance right now, as I explained in my update, daily market update that is shared in my channel also, that is shared on my Twitter account as well. Yes, the market structure has flipped all of these things, yes, but right now you can see that USDT dominance is sitting at a crucial support level. So as soon as it goes back down to support, price on the Bitcoin chart would definitely just fall from that level. As soon as it goes back up to this resistance level, that is where the Bitcoin price is going to increase. But make sure that you're keeping an eye on all of these levels one by one. These are very crucial SR levels, and you need to play all of these levels one by one. If we take a look at the others.d chart, it is sitting at a resistance level. I already shared, by the way, I would recommend all of you to please read that detailed update that I shared about others.d. If you guys want, I can record a separate video and upload it on our YouTube channel about the altcoin season as well. All right, because others.d, I have shared a detailed update on others.d just recently in my channel. Where is that update? Yeah. So I have explained in detail that what exactly is going on with others.d. It's looking really good, but right now it's sitting at a resistance level. We have just one obstacle. We have just one more difficulty to cross. We just have one more swing point to cross, and as soon as we have one daily candle close above 7.87% level, that is when the daily time frame structure shift on others.d is going to happen, and that is when the real party would begin. We just have to reclaim this resistance level, right? Same is the case with the second chart as well, others chart as well. It is also sitting at resistance level. I have done this mistake a lot many times, taking long positions when others.d was at support, was at resistance. I'm not gonna do that mistake back again. So I would recommend that you simply just keep an eye on others.d as well, because others.d is sitting at very crucial resistance level, and it's very important for the altcoin continuation that others.d reclaims this level. And same is the case with Bitcoin dominance as well. Bitcoin dominance is now back at a very crucial support at 62.33%. And it's very important that we just simply lose this level for others.d to break above that resistance level. But obviously that's not going to happen immediately. This is a very crucial this is a very crucial support for Bitcoin dominance, and same is the case with others.d. It's a very, very crucial resistance for others.d, and everything is simply just dependent on how Bitcoin dominance reclaims, or how Bitcoin dominance actually breaks below that support level, or others.d breaks above resistance level. I highly doubt if that's going to happen immediately. That is where everything is dependent on. And once again, this is something that you need to keep an eye on. So this is my point of view about the Bitcoin chart. USDT dominance, two important levels you have to keep an eye on. These two levels I'm talking about. The first one is resistance. This is a support. The reclaim of any level is going to be your ultimate trigger to go long or short. With Bitcoin dominance, you can see that it's sitting at a crucial support level. So avoid taking any long position that you cannot handle right now, or avoid having too many open positions in the long direction right now, because others.d is sitting at resistance, others is sitting at resistance and has two equal highs also. I mean, this is a very crucial level. Ethereum is at 3450 resistance level. It's constantly getting rejected at 3450 level. And before we move forward, 50 plus people are watching the live stream. Only 21 of you have liked it. What's wrong with the rest of you 23, 24 people? Why cannot you just press the like button? So yeah, guys, please make sure to subscribe to this channel, okay? Please make sure to like the live stream. This is really important. This really helps create content for you guys. As soon as I see engagement, as soon as I see more engagement with these live stream, it usually helps me create more content. So please make sure to like the live stream. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you're not following me over Twitter, 𝗟𝘍𝗏, this is my Twitter handle. You can see that I occasionally post calls, market updates on my Twitter account. And if you would like to receive more organized updates and calls, you can always join in the Discord server. The link you can find in the description of this video. And remember that we have free subscription on our premium Discord going on. All you have to do is simply just register with one of our partner exchanges, BLOFIN or BITUNIX, and you can simply just access the Discord server for free without paying any single penny, right? Do you only take altcoin long positions if others.d is at support? I mean, this is realistically speaking, this is the way that you should be doing it. I mean, you should only be taking long positions if others.d is sitting at support. I mean, during the past few weeks, past 2 weeks, we have constantly been nailing with these long positions. The reason was I was constantly pointing out that others.d is sitting not only at a multi-year support, but at the same time others.d has this massive falling wedge pattern also. I don't think that there was any other person who was constantly voicing this thing, who was constantly pointing out this whole thing that others.d is sitting at support, others.d is at a multi-year support, and there is this falling wedge pattern. And this is why we need to focus more and more on long positions. I mean, towards the end of May, I had started pointing out that towards the end of June or maybe towards the start of July, you are going to have an altcoin rally. Not exactly an altcoin season, but an altcoin rally or something like that. So this is exactly what we saw. And that whole opinion was based on this chart that you are seeing right in front of you. Based on this chart, I was able to predict that there is going to be a bigger altcoin season. Oh, sorry, bigger altcoin rally, not season, a bigger altcoin rally because of this falling wedge pattern. We reclaimed this resistance level. It was a crucial resistance. Now this is the actual resistance, actual obstacle that we have to reclaim. I don't think that's going to happen immediately. This is a very, very important resistance level. You can see that it takes some time to reclaim this level. But back in 2021 also, this is where we bounced off from. Then we reclaimed this level, and that is when the real fun began. And then we went from 7.64 all the way up to 19% level till 4th of January 2022. And this was, a few months of altcoin season, or just call it one complete year of altcoin season. That was the most interesting part of the story. So our interesting part of the story has started to begin, has already started. We just have to reclaim this very crucial resistance level. Once we reclaim this resistance level, the major structure shift is going to happen on the others.d chart, and this is where the real fun is going to begin. Amnesia is saying, wait, if you only take longs on others.d support, will the signal later on be a long? If so, why? Yes, it's going to be a long position, but it's going to be slightly less risky one, in comparison to like any random pair. It's going to be one which is like, has higher chances of giving us a breakout or something like that. But again, I'm not 100% sure if there is going to be any position or not. For those of you who are in the Discord server, anything that you guys are concerned about is always long position. Where is the position? Where is the position? I have the channel called Ask Sherlock, and 90% of the questions in the Ask Sherlock channel are where is the position? And in my DMs, everybody's asking where is the position? Where is the position, right? So I'm giving you literally all of this free, all the strategy, the whole thing. Make sure that you're watching these live streams. You can have as many positions as you want, right? but sometimes we just have to manage the risk. We have been constantly nailing for the past 2 weeks or so. We have been non-stop taking these positions, but right now I don't want to repeat the mistake that sometimes I get carried away. Sometimes just because of these emotions and everything, I would jump into a long position even though others.d is sitting at resistance, because at the end of the day we are humans, right? We make these mistakes. No matter how experienced we are, we make these mistakes. So right now you can see that others.d is at resistance. This is the worst possible thing you can do while taking a long position, that others.d is at resistance. The rest of the things at resistance, but sometimes you just get carried away with the setup, and this is a problem that you would always encounter. This is a problem that I'm always pointing out, that a lot many people struggle in terms of altcoin positions is because they are only focusing on the altcoin chart itself. They don't even know where Bitcoin dominance is. They don't even know where others.d is. If you start looking at others.d at least and Bitcoin chart at least, you would start finding out that the altcoin charts, they don't matter that much. Okay, they don't matter that much. Even if the altcoin setup is looking good, even if the altcoin chart itself is looking good, and others.d is sitting at resistance, the setup is not going to work. And even if others.d even if the altcoin chart itself is looking really bad, okay, and others.d is sitting at support, that long position would still work for you, okay? Because others.d and Bitcoin dominance and Bitcoin, these 2 or 3 things are ultimately going to dictate what's going to happen with that setup. So it's very crucial to keep in mind these things. Bitcoin right now is sitting at resistance. That resistance may not be visible on the Bitcoin chart, but that is visible on the USDT dominance chart because it's sitting at a support. Same is the case with others.d, which is sitting at resistance. Same is the case with others, which is sitting at resistance. So keep in mind that these 3 or 4 coins you have to these 3 or 4 charts you have to keep an eye on. Are you as active in the Foxian Discord as you are in the Kaizen server? Yes, I'm active in both of these Discord servers. I am probably most active in only these 2 Discord servers. These are the only 2 Discord servers I'm most active probably in. Can you check HUMA USDT? It is long call by Captain that is currently set to close at break even, but it is trading below entry and falling. My entry point is 0.03840. What is your opinion on it? Second Pratt is asking. Okay, let's take a look at, I believe this coin would be listed on 𝗍𝗁𝗍. Okay, it's actually listed on most of the exchanges. BLOFIN 2. Okay, it's a newly listed pair. It was listed back on 26th of May. It's been almost 2 months or so. Let's draw the SR levels and let's see what's gonna happen with this coin. Not the best possible support that you can draw in this situation, but I would still like to draw it like this because we have some reactions at this level. Apart from this one, we had no reaction, but rejection, bounce, and then we had bounce and bounce. Okay, so if we just ignore this reaction because there was no reaction at this point in time, if we draw this trend line, there was this trend line breakout, which gives us the idea that price actually gives respect to these levels. Right now it's sitting at support. Okay, your entry point is, if it's sitting at support, it for as long as it is sitting at support, your long position is going to survive and it's fine, right? But as soon as it starts breaking below this level, that is when the trouble is going to begin. So your entry point is very high. I suppose it's 0.036256. Okay, 0.0. Let's put in the exact point. 0.036256. 36256. Enter. Yeah, you can actually get out of this position easily. 3.8 was a bit higher, but you can actually get out of this position because it's sitting at support. It's only a 2% move upside. Okay, so it can happen at any moment. I know that it has been just going at the entry point for some time, but it's only a 2% move upside. Considering that it's sitting at support, it will go back up. If we draw the fib level, start of impulsive wave, end of impulsive wave, you can see that the first reaction at 61% happened, and now the second reaction is going to happen at most likely 70%, back to 65% levels. 65% reaction also happened. So it's giving respect to fib levels, although the reactions have already happened. But at the same time, because it's sitting at the fib levels, and it's a crucial fib level, and secondly, because it's sitting at support, so I would definitely not exit this position right now. For as long as it is sitting at support, everything looks fine to me. All right, everything looks fine to me on this chart. If we just take a look quickly at the 1-day 12 period yeah, this is a bit of a problem, and this is why you can see that price is reacting always to this quarterly VWAP. Bounce at this quarterly VWAP, had a break below, rejection at this quarterly VWAP, bounce at this quarterly VWAP. So this is going to be a resistance, but more important is going to be 1-day 12 period exponential moving average. And this is what I was worried about. This is why price is not able to reclaim the level, because 1-day 12 period exponential moving average is constantly above price right now. Okay, so it's going to take some time. Please do not be worried. It's going to take some time, but it will eventually go back up, right? It's not something which is super difficult. Can you please take a look at Injective and Solana? Injective is dead. Injective and Solana both are trading below major time frame resistance level. Solana is not going to be any different than what we have discussed over and over again during the past few live streams as well. Until and unless it breaks above $180 level, it's simply just a non-existent thing for me. Okay, 𝗠UE already has done that. 𝗠UE has broken above the resistance level. Ethereum, once it breaks above 4,000, it's going to be a different story. So same is the case with Solana. It's going to be an altogether different story if it breaks above $180 region. So like I mentioned, in the case of Ethereum, all you have to do is simply just wait for one daily candle close, just one daily candle close above this level on Solana, and that is going to be your long trigger, and that is going to be a very beautiful long trigger. You can ultimately target at least 200, at least, sorry, not 200, at least 250 level. Okay, 260, 250 level on Solana. That is going to be an easy long position for you. But for that to happen, price needs to reclaim this $180 resistance level. Okay, that's going to be a very, very simple long position. With Injective used to be a good coin, but it's sitting at below a major resistance level. This is a resistance level that I'm talking about. It's sitting below a major resistance. So until and unless it reclaims this resistance, I'm not interested in going into Injective. Okay, so if it reclaims the resistance around $16 region, one daily candle close at least above this level, that is when I would be interested in buying Injective. I hope this answers your question. Minkle is saying, I always like Sherlock stuff. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Minkle. Hey Sherlock, if we are at USDT dominance support and Bitcoin dominance is at support, I'm assuming we cannot expect any long signal, rather limits. Yes, placing limits is slightly more convenient in this situation. Like you mentioned, USDT dominance is at support, others.d is at support. Okay, and one thing that I like about my audience, my followers, is that, honestly, I'll be honest with you guys, almost like a year or two ago, nobody used to talk about others.d, USDT dominance, others, total 2 that much. Okay, it was only when I have a large audience. I'm not saying that I'm super popular, but I have a decent amount of people following me. But it was only 2 years ago that when I constantly started talking about others.d over and over and over again, a total 2 over and over again, total over and over again, Bitcoin dominance over and over again in my daily market updates, and more importantly, USDT dominance in my daily updates. Okay, I have not seen to this date any other analyst, any other person, okay, who looks at Bitcoin from the perspective of USDT dominance, who looks at Bitcoin from the lens of USDT dominance. Okay, so this is something which I'm actually very proud of. Just like you mentioned, Amnesia, because USDT dominance is sitting at support and others.d is sitting at resistance and Bitcoin dominance is sitting at support. So this may not be an ideal situation to get into long position until and unless it's something like, an outperformer or something like that, an outlier, a coin which is actually you believe is going to outperform the rest of the market. So I was saying that people used to not talk about others.d USDT dominance 2 years back, but now I have been constantly, like every single update of mine, every single day about Bitcoin is always in terms of the USDT dominance chart, because this is the chart which actually is, more convenient to look at instead of the Bitcoin charts itself. Brian Armstrong is asking, wow, Brian Armstrong is with us. the founder and CEO of Coinbase. I'm happy to have you. So if Brian, if you would just go and watch the live stream back again, because it's on YouTube. So yeah, and it will be uploaded later on. So you would if you would watch the live stream back again, you would realize that in this 1 hour, almost 50 minutes, we just talked about Ethereum. So Ethereum, yes, I'm definitely bullish on Ethereum, Brian. But we have to take into account various different factors: 3450, 4000, long term break above 4000. That is your long trigger. 4100 at least, 4115 at least. Right now, 3450. That is going to be a long trigger for Ethereum. All right, that is going to be a long trigger for Ethereum. If you are not already long, because I am actually long myself, I'm actually already long on Ethereum. I hope this makes sense. Why is your copy trading taking forever to kick off? I'm willing to pay a subscription for it. I know that people would pay thousands of dollars even to have access to copy trading. But just to tell you guys, I'm not going to reveal the name of the exchange. It could be BitUnix, it could be some other exchange. But we recently started talking with an exchange. It was like 3-4 days ago. We have been communicating with them. We have been talking about this copy trading thing. They have much better liquidity. They have much better mechanism and everything. Because at the end of the day, it's all about having better spreads, having better mechanism and everything, having better execution and all. And yeah, it's just going to take some time. But yes, we have already started talking about it with people who are familiar with this matter. They would know that we are constantly in talks with one of these exchanges, one of the big exchanges out there, and we are just finalizing the last few things. And as soon as we are done with that, we are simply just going to launch copy trading very soon. Okay, but I'm not first of all, I'm not someone, this is not a necessary thing. This is not a product that I have always talked about. This is not a product that I have ever said that okay, I promise you I would offer to you. This is not a product that I'm obliged to offer you. Okay, I'll be honest with you. This is a product that I am not super optimistic about, that I'm going to be super proud of. This is a product that I have always talked in bad terms about. Okay, because copy trading seems to never really work. But yeah, if you guys are interested for a small control group, we are definitely going to release it, but that is going to take some time. Yes, Silent, you are going to be there. You're going to be the first person to have access to it. Bunny is here. Bunny, happy to see you. I hope you got out of that meme coin spot position of yours. It's been almost like 6 months. We are seeing you after 6 months or so. Your market updates are very informative, my friend. Thank you so much, Amnesia. Can you check Plum? It looks a breakout. Okay. Brian Armstrong, wait for daily close above 3450. Yes. Copy trading is dumb. I mean, some people may disagree with you. Some people would say that it actually is dumb. But yeah, it's a crucial thing. Copy trading, I mean, this is a hot question. But the truth is that I haven't really met someone who was able to successfully execute the copy trading thing. Okay. It might be because copy trading 99.99% of the time is being done by people who are scamming their audience. Okay, I can easily charge $2,000 per slot for my copy trading, right? It's been years that people are requesting for copy trading, but because I'm not sure about that product, okay, and because you need to understand that I have built the reputation in this space very carefully. Okay, I have my own Discord community. I have my own community called Foxin. I have my own company called Foxin Organization. I have been very transparent about it. Okay, and each one of the people, no matter which Discord server are you from, I actually care about you. Okay, and I would never really want to do something, or I would never really want to launch something which I believe would ultimately end up hurting you or your capital or your emotions, right? So it's very important that I do my due diligence. I take care of all these things, because at the end of the day, I'm trader, which means that if I face some sort of a backlash, or any of or literally anything goes wrong, I just don't really want to be in that sort of a situation. Okay, it's very obvious. So if I'm not sure about something, I would not introduce it to my audience, because at the end of the day, this is the audience which has always done good to me. This is the audience which I have at the end of the day with me. These are my followers which matter the most to me. So it's my responsibility to take care of you guys. So if I believe that I launch copy trading, I can easily give you a slot for like, maybe $2,000, $3,000. People would be more than happy to pay for it. I know this thing. I know because people actively approach me on various platforms saying that, just charge us whatever amount you want, but give us copy trading. But the thing is that if I'm not sure about it, then I'm definitely not gonna do it, right? I mean, very obvious. It's not a matter of money. It's not a matter of charging a fee or anything like that. It's just a matter of if I'm comfortable doing that or not, because I don't really want um you know uh, a bad patch on my career saying that, hey, Sherlock, you launched copy trading almost a year ago and it resulted in liquidating my capital. I cannot have that symbol associated with my identity, with my name, okay? Because I'm very, very sensitive about it. Okay, hope you guys understand that. It's once again just a personal choice. As I said, yes, I have some responsibilities towards you guys. I have some obligations towards you guys, okay? Which means I have to be honest with you. I always have to be transparent about you. Always have to give you, a non-biased opinion about the market. I always have to be, giving these updates and everything in the most transparent manner possible. But copy trading is not something which I'm obliged to do for literally anyone, okay? You need to understand this thing. Yes, I'll be more than happy to do it, but until and unless I have all the ends covered, okay? And the big end which we have failed to cover at every single occasion is the issue of spreads, okay? Issue of spreads is genuine. It cannot easily be covered. I have been talking about this for a long enough time. I have been talking to a few exchanges about it. I'll be honest with you, BLOFIN has issues of spreads. It's not something that they can fix overnight. And for that reason, we have to do something about it. And for that reason, I had to talk to some other exchanges which I'm actively communicating with. And based on that, I would be launching copy trading for you, very soon, hopefully. But, until and unless all the ends are covered, I'm definitely not going to do that. Yeah, it could be a disclaimer, it could be anything, but yeah, we usually give disclaimer with our signals as well. We usually give disclaimers with our YouTube videos as well. We usually give disclaimers with literally anything and everything, saying that this is not financial advice. But at the end of the day, people are following you, right? People are following Bybit. No, Bybit has horrible spreads. For some reason, Bybit has horrible spreads. Bitunix has, very surprisingly, Bitunix has better spreads in comparison to Binance, Bybit, and most other exchanges. I have been very, very surprised about it. The UI is good, everything is good. There are a few issues which I'll maybe talk about later on. But yeah, the issue of spreads is not something which I've encountered on Bybit at least. You would never encounter the issue of spreads on 𝗍𝗃𝗄. Okay, it's obvious because 𝗍𝗃𝗄 is a B booked exchange. Okay, they're not A booking your trades, they are their own market makers, which means that any position you would take, they would be opening that position against you. And you cannot remain profitable on 𝗍𝗃𝗄 for a long enough period. They would ultimately ban you for being profitable. Okay, they would ultimately start imposing unnecessary limits. It's a problem with most other exchanges also, but with Binance, Bybit, these exchanges, they don't really limit you for any such thing. Some other exchanges actually do that, but with Bybit, the issue of spreads is definitely there. BitGet, I don't really trust BitGet, to be very honest. Most of these exchanges are registered in some third world countries. So BitGet, 𝗍𝗃𝗄, some of these other exchanges, I don't have full faith in. BLOFIN is really, really good in terms of communication, in terms of trust, in terms of everything else. But the issue of spreads is something which is there on BLOFIN as well. With Binance, the issue of spreads is there. They have good spreads, but once again, very few people in the world, especially in the European countries, can access Binance. So Binance is definitely not an option. And I personally feel like Binance has a very closed ecosystem. They don't have a very good communication with their audience and people working with them. So that is why I'm a bit uncomfortable trading on Binance myself, like having about launching something on Binance, because there isn't really anyone that you can contact Binance about any such thing. But anyways, let's talk about this coin called Plum. Okay, so it's trading on the on this daily time frame support level. Okay, not a very convincing price action, not a very good price action chart. You can see that it's simply just ranging at the same level. But if you would go to the lower time frame, maybe because this level has been reclaimed, maybe it's simply just going to give a breakout above this level. But until and unless the breakout happens, it should be a no-go zone for you. You have to wait for breakout. If you're already in the position, if you're already holding in spot, then obviously you can wait for a breakout. But if the breakout happens, then it can easily go all the way up to at least this resistance level. Okay, this is my opinion on Plum. You can place the stop loss slightly under this support, and based on that you can actually, let's just draw the fib levels also. Yeah, so based on the fib levels, what was going to be the support? This was going to be the support, a small support that did not work. Yeah, it can easily go back down to this level, and if it does, it's going to be a very good opportunity for you to go long or buy in spot. Okay, this is going to be a massive opportunity. As long as it is sitting on support, there is a chance that it may break above the trend line. You can always consider trading on hype. You mean hyperliquid? Uh, yeah, this is an option that I have been exploring for the past, like, 1 week or so. I even talked to someone associated with hyperliquid. I asked them about the choice of coins available, but the choice of coins, they are constantly listing coins, but the choice of coins is not very big. Okay, the choice of coins is not too great, so that is why trading on hyperliquid also is going to be slightly difficult. But yeah, we can do that. I don't think they have copy trading thing, but yes, you can just copy certain wallets. You can openly see their positions. It's simply just an open source thing. Thank you so much, Kelly. Thank you so much for subscribing to the YouTube channel. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. If you still have any questions, please make sure to DM me on Twitter. Please make sure to join the Discord server. The link you can find in the description of this video. Once again, please make sure to like the live stream, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We had an amazing live stream today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. 𝗟𝘍𝗶𝗵𝘁, this is my Twitter handle. Make sure to give me a follow on 𝗟𝘍𝗶𝗵𝘁, my Twitter account as well. I occasionally post market updates, calls on my Twitter account as well. And once again, I must repeat, if you are not a part of 𝗨𝘽𝘀, it's a great opportunity for you. Just join the Discord server. Link is in the description of this video. You would not regret it. This is the amazing time. This is the time where everybody is literally printing money. Market is trending, and you don't really want to miss out on this opportunity. The opportunity is there. You just have to grab that. And in our Discord server, we have a variety of different analysts. Even if you're not trading with other analysts, you can simply just copy my calls, or you can just focus on that. We have some amazing discounts going on. Yes, there are some amazing discounts going on. You can even have a free access to server as well if you have a BLOFIN account or BITUNIX account. But for any of that inquiries, you just have to join the Discord server. The link you can find in the description of this video. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for joining in. I would probably be sharing the call in the Discord server also. Okay, a new call in the Discord server. It's gonna take some time, so make sure to just keep an eye on the channel for the time being. Thank you so much. Take care. Have a great week ahead. Thank you. Bye.